man. I can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world? Oh.
It's your blood and mine that makes a beautiful hunger. Are you with me?
Last fire will rise behind those eyes. Black house will rock. Blind boys don't lie. Immortal fear. That voice so clear through broken walls. That scream I hear. Sister, come to your brother, yeah. Unchain me, sister. Love is with your brother, yeah. Blue masquerade. Strangers look on, when will they learn this loneliness? Temptation heat beats like a drum deep in your veins. I'll live not love, little sister. Come to your brother, yeah. Unchain me, sister. Love is with your brother, yeah. Shangri-La, I can't forget why you were mine. I need you now. Little sister. Come to your brother, yeah. Unchain me, sister. Love is with your brother, yeah. Great little sister. Come to your brother. Chain me, sister. Love is with your brother. Great sister.
Welcome to the Monkey Show. Today, wherever you are, I hope you're having an awesome day, and it's not raining and pouring down like it's been for us here at in my city in Whangarei, in New Zealand, for the last 5 days. It's been like crazy raining. It's like heavy rain. Can't get my clothes on the line, and it's been sitting in the machine for like 3-4 days now. And just took it out. I was like, oh, that's right. I got clothing in the line, in the machine to take out. It's going to start smelling after a while. It's crazy. But last night I was like looking at putting together some little clips, right, for our, to promote our videos. Our comic books. And I came up with a couple. And today, well, early this morning, I came up with one for one of the shorts. Let me see if I can grab it here. It was this one here, and I had so much trouble trying to get this on let me see if I can bring it up. Remove that one, bring up this one. Trying to edit it, like the first time I saw it, right? I mean, I thought like, yeah, this would be the perfect song for it. And it turned out that like when I finished editing and uploading it, it was blocked. It had a copyright on the music, and it was only like about 30 seconds of it, or like 20 seconds even. And I was like, oh man, this sucks. So I went and edited again, and I thought, oh no, that's going to be, I loaded it up. It's like, oh, it's taking forever. So that's blocked as well. So I thought, okay, you know what? I will try it again. And then when I went for the third one to go up, right, turns out the second one wasn't blocked. And so I basically really stop the third one from going through. But here it is.
Bye then.
You stay safe now. I'd watch her leave for school in the morning, welcome home, and watch her return home in the afternoon. After stalking her for several days, I noticed that Mimri never once smiled.
Are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? You okay? Are you hurt anywhere?
No, I'm alright.
What a relief. Oh, your shoelaces are untied. You must have tripped on them. It's okay, I'll tie them. It's as easy as 1, 2. There, all done. Oh man, I suck. I tied them vertically.
Oh, thank you, Hirito.
Oh, Mimri, you can just call me Big Brother if you really want to. But it's fine if you don't.
Anyway, Mimri, so what do you think? Enjoying your new life?
It's okay, I guess.
So what do you girls do for fun? Are there any games you like? I know! I'll teach you an amazing new skill! Boom! An awesome shiny mud ball! This is the attention grab no jutsu. Use this secret skill to make one in front of your friends and you'll instantly win their respect.
But I don't have any friends to show this to.
No way!
Now that I have a new dad, I also have a new school. But I don't have the same uniform and gym clothes as everyone else. I'm always wearing the wrong clothes. I'm always doing the wrong thing.
Got it.
That scream I hear, cry, little sister. Come to your brother. Jamie's sister.
Yeah, so I finally got it up, and I was like, okay, 3 attempts, and the second one worked, but the third one wasn't necessary. But yeah, I think Tomas, if you can hear me, you're muted, and I can't unmute you when you're muted.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm here. Sorry, I just wanted to avoid annoying
All
sounds
right,
from the
awesome.
background. Sorry.
Oh, good. Hey, so let me just grab this away from here and put us back on. So, do you want to tell people who you are, what you've been up to for the past few months or
Yeah,
year?
sure. Well, hello everybody. It's been a long time. Well, just like it says in the screen, my name is Thomas, and I am the main artist in the Tortoise saga by Aru. And these past months, we have been working in the first and second volumes. I think the first one is already finished, and I'm here like also doing some covers. If you have saw the video that I researched show you, I think the second cover is the manga style. That's the one that I did for the Incredible Volume 2.
Mhm.
And well, I had been traveling and working around the world too. And when I was free, I was doing all the things that you can see that Aru is showing right now. So I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, so we've been working since maybe late 2003 or something.
2000, yeah, maybe late 2023, 24, I think, the beginning of 24.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I think I reached to you at Christmas, near Christmas, and everybody stopped working because of the holiday. So I think we started in 24.
yeah. I mean, time goes really fast. I mean, like this year, like it's already like what 3 weeks into January,
Yeah, like
and
what the hell?
yeah, and you've been like traveling all over Europe and working hard out over there. And so we're going to look at some photos from that time you were over there. But we also,
Yeah,
for those who guys, who are interested, um, in what we're doing with the tortoise, we've been working on it hard out. Like we had I guess in a sense, for the past, like now 2 years, right?
yeah,
We've been working, planning, and deciding what we're going to do with it. And plus, I kept, because I wanted to make sure that we had finished everything before we go to quick Kickstarter, so that there isn't a delay on stuff. And with that, it meant that we would go, while we're working on the next issues, it was great to for the last. I think it was like when we just started putting this up on Webtoons.
I think you
Yeah,
maybe.
July last year.
Oh yeah, July. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a long
So we're
time.
almost, yeah, it goes fast, man. So, so how about we start with your trip first, and then we'll get into, a bit
Well,
more
the trip.
of the book.
Well, the trip wasn't just a trip. It was like it all began with a working visa to France.
Mm,
I went with my wife. We, we both take the visa so we can work together. And
mm,
normally that document it's for a year. You can like make another document to stay there and work. But we
yeah.
had the chance to make the Italian citizenship. So we went to Italy. We present the papers. We have to wait 5 months and a half, and not moving, just to wait for the person in charge to take notes that you live here, this is your address, etc. And
Yeah.
all the process took 5 months and a half.
Hmm.
From that, we went back to France, working in summer. We went to Nice. It's called the Blue Coast. It's like the Miami, but from France.
Right.
And in the holidays, we went to travel into different countries. I think we went to 12 different countries. I think
Wow.
during these 3 years there. The last one was Japan. That was like the cherry to the top.
Yeah, the highlight of it all, eh?
Yeah, yeah. So because we were thinking like, okay, before coming back here to Argentina, we say we have to go to Japan. It's the moment. It's right now because later, family, everything else is gonna be in the
Mm,
in the middle. So it's right now. And was the best time. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, that's not your neighbor? That's your neighbor's cat. I mean, dog, right? Because you got a cat.
No, it's sorry. neighbor. I think it's the no because it's in the corridor. Sorry, sorry everybody, because they take the dogs to a walk before night. So
Yeah.
yeah, just it stopped.
Oh, yeah. Talking about which, it's 9 p.m. right now in Argentina, right?
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. Yeah. So some people eat or they go take the dog for a walk on the street and they come back to eat and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 1 p.m. here in New Zealand. So tomorrow for you, right? It's what is it? It's Wednesday today.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday for you, Wednesday for me. So
Yeah.
tell us about some of the places you went to, and do you want to pop up some photos of like museums or comic, events that you went to while you were there?
Yeah, sorry, the dog it's outside right now, so it went out. Pictures, okay. Oh, sorry, I have cars too. So let me see if I can put some pictures because I have the pictures on the phone. Just 1 second because I'm gonna take off the microphone because of the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it's awesome, right? You go on a 1 year working holiday overseas, but you get to, meet a lot of new people.
Yeah.
And like I did that a couple of years back when I actually spent 3 years in the South Island of New Zealand, like uplifted ourselves, my wife and at that time, and we went down to South Island to study filmmaking. So I spent 3.5 years down there, 6 months just setting ourselves up, getting working, finding a good place to work in. And I used to work in the kitchen, so either cooking or washing dishes and running the whole thing while on my own sometimes, or helping my manager run it. So it's kind of you get to learn a bit about the culture. I mean, even though we're in New Zealand, they're on the other side of the planet as far as I'm concerned, because they have their own way of doing things down there. So what was it like for you, basically going to a totally different country, on the other continent, on the other side of the world, right?
Yeah, but for the first time, it's like you have some, how do you call it, like stereotypes. Some people say, oh, be careful with the French people, be careful with the Italian people, be careful with the Spanish people, or with English people. And you end up finding that sometimes some people is true and some people is false. But for the most time, we find really nice people. We have the luck. We have been lucky to find really good people. We are friends even today. I think from the first work that we had in France, we are friends with the people we work there, most of them, and also with people we did from Italy. We made friends over there when making the citizenship, and we still talking till today, and it was really like mind opening because maybe you go and you say, yeah, people were right, I have to be careful with these kind of people, or no, people were wrong, I have to be more like less critical with people. So
I'm like that with my family, right? I had my one of my family members in the middle of like in an interval, like how you have like you go to a concert, like a stage play, and in between like part 1 and part 2 there's an interval, right? So out of the blue that person starts up about Trump, and I'm like, I'm here with my family watching a play at Christmas time, and I'm trying to like joke myself out of having a conversation about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please don't make this into a thing. And he got all angry at me. I'm like, dude, I just made a joke about it because I don't want to be talking about politics in the Christmas event that my family members are part of and on the stage. And so you have to do that now, right? Because people, and it's not like, some people just get really aggravated because of something they saw, but now they don't understand that like this is not the environment for it, So what was it like dealing with that?
It was like most specific. If I had to talk about politics, was really weird that when we went there working, there was a lot of changes here in Argentina. So we we ended up seeing the news, the French news about Argentina, and we were hearing our colleagues talking about Argentina. It's French people talking about the situation in Argentina, and for sometimes it was really funny because they were talking like, oh, I know what is happening in your country. Like, dude, you don't live in my country. You never went. You never went to my country. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Sometimes it was like you say, with your experience, you have to, you say like, walking tippy toes, like I don't want to talk about this. If I make a small mention about maybe this kind of subject, like I'm gonna start a fight. So it was like something to take care over there.
Yeah, I think people just they want your opinion, but they already have their mind made up. So no matter what so whatever you say, you're going to be wrong. So what I do is I just don't say anything. Like don't bring up politics at all, because if you're there to have enjoyment, with go, like in my case, go and watch a play, because I hardly ever go out. So if I do go out, then that's important for me to actually have a nice time. So.
Yeah.
What was it like in Italy? Sorry, what were you doing in France? Like, for people who don't know, right? I know what you were doing, but like for people,
Mostly in France, we used to work in the seasons, summer season and winter season.
Mhm.
In most of the seasons, we work as a cleaning service in a hotel, cleaning
Right.
rooms, common places, corridors, etc. And
Yeah.
in one season, in the summer, I work as a waiter in a restaurant near
Yeah.
the airport. So that was more interesting because there was a lot of people from really talking about. Sorry, do you speak? There was a lot of people scared because they hear, oh, in France you don't have to speak English because they hate English, and some people were like, you speak English? Yes. You speak Spanish? Yes. Oh my God! Oh, I'm so happy. There was even an Italian family. They were like this in the table, like they didn't understand. I started to talk Italian to them, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful to hear someone who speak my language. Oh my God," like that.
Yeah, it's funny when I go to Fiji and I see a European person or someone from New Zealand. But the weird thing is, because everybody I meet, they think I'm from Fiji. So straight away they think I'm trying to like get something out of them. Whereas I just want to sit out and hang, because when you go to the bar or something, you don't want, you're there to just chill, right? So you want to speak English to people when you've been speaking like Hindi for 7 days in a row. So the time you go to the bar, it's like there's some white people. So you're like, okay, let me speak to some white people, right? So I can feel like I'm at home, because I don't class Fiji as home, because I'm like a fish out of water when I go to Fiji. So I feel more comfortable in my, in New Zealand, my own country. So it's strange when you get there and people are like, oh, so you're not local then? Nah, I'm not local. Can't you tell? Like, I'm not local. Like, look at me. But what was it like when you went over to Italy? Because I mean, like, you speak Spanish, right? So
Yeah.
in France, you're able to speak Spanish. But do you speak any other languages? Like, did you pick up any other languages while you're there?
Yeah, well, French language, I had to learn it just by
Wow.
working. Italian, we have to take some classes just to manage to get along with the things, the normal things. Go to the supermarket,
Yeah.
order food, or talking to people over there, because some people there, they were like, "Oh, where are you from? What are you doing here?" Just normal talking. Also with the presenting the documents and everything else. So yeah, most is like Spanish, English, Italian, French, and nothing else.
Was it hard learning another language? I know for me, when I first came to New Zealand, I was like I was only about 7 years old, so I think for me it was easy to pick up. But I was still, I was reading English in Fiji as like, not really. But then I wasn't that really good at my own language anyway, like reading Hindi or anything like that. At 7 years old, you really don't think about education. So I had to take like really, lots of classes on a weekly basis across the road from my house, where there was a neighbor there who would like teach me about help me to read Clifford the Red Dog, right? The giant dog or whatever, the big dog. and that's how I got it. But I was still friggin' going to special classes for reading, and till I was 15 years old. So that's 8 years of my life I'd spent just learning special classes for reading and stuff. So was it hard for you to with the French and Italian? Because I mean, it's a totally different tongue, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, French and Italian, it's like a Latin language, so it's the same basis as Spanish, so it's like the same family. French was a really difficult language because they speak really fast. There was a lot of people that they didn't want to translate for us because they say we're going to speak French, and if you don't understand, it's your problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. There was like a colleague of us who speak French really well, so he made the translation, and that was really like amazing how the brain starts to adapt to the situation, because suddenly we start speaking French fluently, like we are talking right now, and we were like, we haven't read or do any lessons of French, just because listening some translations over here or over there, but it was like, wow. And with Italian, the thing is, if you learn French, there are some words similar in Italian. So
Right.
it was like, okay, this is not so difficult. Maybe you miss some words because just for a letter, it's just change the pronunciation, but it's also is the same. The only problem with because here in Argentina we speak Spanish with an Italian accent, so
Right.
when we speak French, they have like the letter R. They speak it with the throat, not with the mouth.
Right.
That's the only problem we have, because we were speaking like, for example, bonjour. We speak bonjour because we pronounce the R like really Spanish.
Yeah.
And they speak bonjour. No, bonjour. And some people start to laugh about it, how we pronounce the R.
I was gonna I just remembered a clip that I'm gonna play that you're gonna find really funny. Let me just bring this up. It has to do with language, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna search more pictures to show.
Yeah.
You know what I've been doing? You know what you've been doing? I've been learning how to speak Japanese. Have you? Yeah. It's really easy too. Eh? I'll show you how I learned that, because I used to watch that. What's that program? Shogun. Remember that? Remember that fella in Shogun? He used to walk around like this. And I thought I can do that. So I said, I want to learn how to speak Japanese. So I went to this old Japanese fella here, and he said, there are 3 things you must learn in order to speak Japanese properly. You know what's that? First, you must learn how to feel the cold, right? This is so you can get that. Secondly, you must have experienced constipation. No, listen, no, seriously. No, shut up, listen. Constipation. This is so you can get that. Right? Yes. And then, thirdly, you must have experienced amnesia. Right? So you forget everything you ever learned, like that, and you have perfect Japanese. So I did. And you put all those 3 ingredients together, you have perfect Japanese. First of all, learn how to feel the cold. Secondly, constipation. Thirdly, amnesia. Perfect Japanese comes out like this.
The perfect rules to learn Japanese.
Yeah, one of the greatest New Zealand comedians ever, man, Billy T. James. He actually wrote. He's a TV actor. So he's been in movies. He passed away a while back, but he was also he also did comic strips. So he had other artists. Yeah, so he'd write the scripts, and other artists would draw it for him. So he's all around multifaceted person, and so disciplined person, but just brilliant. Like he's like there's nobody's ever matched him in New Zealand.
Oh, that's amazing. Being like a showman, doing stand-up comedy, doing scripts. Like, what else?
Yeah, it's like he was like brilliant legend, and so like I thought of that when when we were talking about like accents and languages, because I think if English is your first language, or if your own native tongue is your first language, because I know my native tongue is supposed to be Hindi and I don't speak it fluently. I actually bastardize it a lot when I try to speak it, and everybody gives me a pass because they know that I don't know how to speak properly, and sometimes I'll say the wrong words, but they're okay with it because they know I don't speak it normal all the time. But I think it's tough when you're like having to do it in another culture like you were doing, right? And a lot of people who I guess in a sense don't want to or choose not to learn any other languages. I think the fact that they choose not to, it's actually it's kind of like ripping yourself off from understanding another culture. Sometimes I think languages, and because it actually shows us how similar we are, not how different we are, when you actually learn different languages and cultures. So with you, which brings me over to you went to all these different events, museums and stuff in France and in Europe. You had some photos you want to show us of those places, because I know a lot of people who haven't been there. You can.
Yes, I was searching in the phone the pictures, so I was selecting some pictures to the phone just to send to the chat. Just let me see, because I have like a few ones over here.
Do you want to just present them on the screen there, or do you want me to download?
I have it in my phone, so I can like show it in the computer. So
all right, okay.
I just found the H.R. Geiger photo museum. So
I think I might actually have some of those.
We went to the H.R. Geiger museum, and it was like really amazing.
Yeah.
Just
hold on, let me see.
Let me see. Sorry, it's the dog again.
Oh yeah, hold on. I think. Let me just show this one. Like, you said how to send it through, but I've got this one here. I'll show this one. So this is from Aliens. How big is this one, man? The one from Aliens.
I think it's I don't know, but it's really maybe 2 meters, because it's the real suit.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall was the actor doing the alien, but it was really, really tall. Just let me. Sorry. I'm gonna check some things because I have the pictures from Japan.
Yeah.
I have like tons of pictures or repeated pictures, but don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna send some of the pictures, and later on.
Are you doing it in our Hotmail? I'm sorry, in our Gmail chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you send it through, excuse me, if you send it through to that, I'll be able to get all of them there. So I just post it through. So in the meantime, I will cruise over to our webtoon. So we've been having some really, like, since July, right? We've been having some crazy good luck with our, I guess, because this is our first time being on webtoons with a manga that's like horror, slice of life, and for young adults, not for everybody. But I was on Monday, a few days ago, I was looking at webtoons and how some people are like hitting millions, right, and tens of millions right away. So I think there's some sort of like a funding or a profit thing that's going on, where webtoons themselves actually are partnering up with with these big names, right, to promote their work. So just like always, indie creators are not actually going to be at the top of the game, top of the peak, because like I was looking at some of these here, there was like in the millions, but then you look at it, it's like, well, it's only been up for about 2 weeks. How does somebody get millions out in 2 weeks? But I'm actually quite grateful that we've been having a lot of a lot of people coming to see us and checking out our our webtoon. So if you guys, I think, did I just put in? Yeah, I did put the webtoons link there. So if you guys want to read it for free, it's there. However, with webtoons, they've deleted about 4 or 5 pages out of it because they didn't think that, they don't want anything to do with mature content, which is kind of strange because there's a lot of mature content. One of the weirdest one they took down was this one here. Let me show you this. I posted up just the other day, I think on Monday, and this was just to do a promo for the cover art, but this is classed as indecent somehow, like sexual, right? Because I guess maybe the side boob is showing, but it's totally covered because this is the I wanted to show people what we got coming up in issue 2 when when the girls actually arrive. This is Amber, the main character, and this is Kirsten, her fiance, who both arrive in Wabo Island and meet the people there, which are this is like the main female, who is like the Anyo, who is the chief's daughter. Talmer, I can't remember the name right away, but yeah. So I've got the photos from your travels here now, so I'll show that. The reason I'm showing the, I wanted to show this is because that you've gone over to Europe, at 30, 35 years old, and you guys left your country, and a lot of people actually, some people have never ever left their city, let alone their country, right? So this is some views of France. This is France, right? Tomas?
Yeah, that's France in the mountains.
This is near where you worked, or is it somewhere where you visited? Is this France still, or is it Italy? This castle here. You're muted. Man, I love when I was at art school. This is like about 94, 5, 6. I used to design this as sculptures out of ceramics, the pillars, the arches, like these, the Roman style of pavilions and buildings, out of clay, right? Just hand building it, and I love doing this. I wish I was doing it again, but like just at time. So where is this place? Wait.
It's
the
Oxford Library. It's like really difficult to get in because you have to to
Sorry,
sign up
you were muted that whole time.
Do you hear me right now?
Yeah, let me go back to here. So where was this place?
So that's the Alps, from France. It's I think it's Maribel. It's called Maribel.
Right.
It's near, I think, near Belgium. I think I have to check, but it's in the north. So
Yeah. How far is it from where you were working?
that place, maybe I think it's 20 minutes by bus because
Wow.
the town was right in the middle of the mountains. It's called the three valley zone because it's like the how you call it, this place in the United States. It's like Aspen. They say it's the
Right.
Aspen from Europe. There were like
Right.
a lot of people, a lot of English people, Swedish people, Russian people too.
Yeah. So it's like a big, huge tourist hub for skiers
Yeah.
and
It's
snowboarders.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So where's
that's
this one?
Oxford.
Where, sorry?
Yeah, Oxford, in the north of London.
All right. So you went to England as well.
Yeah. Because my wife, she loves England. She really loves all United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So we went to London and Oxford for my birthday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
This
the Exeter College where Tolkien and C.S. Lewis went to study.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god.
You got to go there, right?
Yeah, but the sad thing is that like there are not a lot of things of Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. Like I was like, really, like they are like these big monsters of literature fantasy, like the fathers of modern
Yeah.
fantasy, and the only things you can find was like okay, the old collection of the Chronicles of Narnia or the old collections of Tolkien and nothing else. And I was like, really?
Yeah, I think it's got to do with the fact that who controls the state right now, and it's really,
Yeah,
you
and
could,
also the sad thing was like there was the pub, the Eagle and Child was the pub where Tolkien and C.S. Lewis went to drink and talk,
yeah,
and at the time it was closed because somebody bought the pub and they went with the remodelations and stuff, so it was closed. It was like, oh my god! And some people say, oh yeah, there's a museum inside the pub. Also, you have the table where they used to sit is at the side with a line that you can sit, and there's like a little sign that says here was Tolkien and C.S. Lewis talking and drinking and
yeah.
everything else.
Where's this one?
Also, that's Oxford too. That's I don't remember the name, but it's like this big library. Oh, I think, or is the maybe the ceremony. I forgot the name in English, but it's like the place where you make the ceremonies. I think.
For graduation, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's called the place where you make the graduation ceremony. I think I have like a lot of. I didn't upload all the pictures because my phone doesn't let me to put all the pictures at the same time. So I didn't want to waste time like searching and
That's
finding
right.
all the pictures. That's the. Also, it's still in Oxford. That's the All Souls College, I think. Supposedly, they tell you that was the view that Tolkien has when he was doing some works on the college. So he got inspired by those two towers to make the two towers of the,
All right.
of the rings. And also, that's Oxford. It's inside the college.
This kind of looks like Hogwarts, right? The interior of Hogwarts.
They use it like inspiration for Hogwarts too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, those things were when you see the gargoyles on the left and the right. No, sorry, it's there's like a lion on the door. That's they say that's the thing that the C.S. Lewis got inspired to make Aslan the Lion King from the Chronicles of Narnia.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's all inspiration, like, and that's the lamplight that you see in the Chronicles of Narnia too. They say that Tolkien and Lewis went out in a really cold winter night, and the only thing he could see was that lamplight in the middle of the night with all the snow, and was like, got it, I have to do this. And he took that picture with him and made the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah. This is great. Where's this one, man?
That's
wow.
I think it's the Vatican, I think. No. I don't remember. I think that's inside, I think it's Italy, but I don't remember where.
Yeah. It's amazing for me, like watching all these amazing architecture from the past that they've spent like decades building, and now all we care about is like how quickly can we raise up the next building, and how boxed and like glass and how much steel we can put into it, without actually thinking about how well it'll look or how great it can look if you add a bit of art to it. It says it's like a put under the box up and that's it. But all these things we look at as monuments of architecture and human artistry, man, it just sucks seeing so many boxes just turn up every year.
Yeah, but you see these kind of things, and that's that's the Sacred Door. Yeah, that's when we went to visit Pope Francis' grave.
Right.
Yeah, we went to Italy when I went to with my wife and her mother too. She went to visit us in Italy, and
Okay.
yeah, it was really really beautiful because
Yeah.
it was her first trip to Europe. So
Yeah.
we show her everything, and that place, that's the, you say Porta Santa, it's say like Sacred Door. It's like I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember too much things right now, but it
Yeah.
was like a special year for the Christians, and that's the door that opens. For example, every 10 years that door opens, and when you enter, you're free of sins and everything else. So
Sure.
it was like a lot of movement in Italy about these special evenings and dates. Yeah, there was like a really big line to pass in front of the Pope Francis grave and presenting respects.
Oh wow, look at that view.
Yeah, that's France. That's the last place we went in France. It's called Chamonix, and it's like an hour and a half from Sweden.
Right. Yeah, like talking about Sweden, like I work with one of our artists is from Sweden, Joachim, and just I always send the artists anything that I'm thinking about that will help with imagination, with what we're doing with places, buildings and stuff. And I've been giving him a whole lot of stuff that looks like this, because we're creating palaces, cities, islands, and great big castles and so on. And it's just been I always like try to get as many inspirational looking photos I can get. Yesterday we were talking about Ireland, right? We based the island of Wabo on another island called, I can't remember the name of it right now, but in Indonesia, where we placed this the story of the tortoise, and slowly just making sure that we can turn make the real place work to our imagination, but still the inspiration for the actual place, you can say, well, this is what it is. So it's looking at things like this, man, it's just awesome.
Yeah, about the thing you said about the place making it believable using real life reference. Today I was listening some information about the Alan Wake video game,
right?
And how they use the energize, the symbol for energize, also how you call it, the brand Energize and Chevrolet for the game. And those small details, they made the game more credible for the player. So that's the thing that you are saying now, that using real life reference makes like more believable. Like you say, oh, this is a place where I can live or where I can find.
Yeah, you're talking about this one here. Let me just check it. I'm not much of a video gamer, but like, I love symbols and stuff because it's just, this is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, but they use also the brand Energize for the batteries, and also they use like the real Chevrolet symbol and brand. But
Hold on.
I think it's the same. Yeah,
I wonder if it's this one you're talking about. Because like I love creating icons and stuff, man. Like design's one of my. I think when I stopped doing when I had my hand accident, I stopped doing drawing and I started going into design. And so always because I did one of the courses in art school I was doing was design. And so is this you talking about these ones here or is this some other one?
I think there. No, that's. I think it's the second game. I was talking about the first one. Sorry, I
Okay.
didn't. Sorry for the not
Oh,
specifying.
oh, that's right. I'm just doing a search, so I'll show you which ones. I mean, and you can pick which one it is that you're talking about.
Just let
So
me.
here you go.
I think it's the one you showed me the first time. The battery one.
This
Yeah.
one here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Energize. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is actually a battery called Energizer, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I guess it's kind of a good crossover there with that. Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize like the most simple designs are actually, take a lot more time than to just chuck it together
Yeah. It take a lot of time.
because you want it to stand out. So this is
Yeah.
the Alps, or
Yeah. Also the Alps. Yeah. Oh,
all
that's
right.
the.
Now we're going to Geiger Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll finish up soon with this, and then we'll go into talking about the tortoise. But man, I just love looking at these places that might never get to visit because they're not not on the top of my places to visit because I don't actually like traveling, but I love seeing this sort of stuff, man. Look at that, just the statues and stuff. Is it made out of bronze?
I think
These,
yes. I think, or maybe yeah. I think it's bronze. Yeah.
man, Geiger was something else. I
Yeah.
remember being inspired by him. I think it was like maybe early 90s, just when I started getting into art. I was some of my top inspirations, like really with horror and stuff, him and Clive Barker,
Yeah. Yeah. I
really.
remember to getting into Geiger when I was reading um, Lovecraft novels, and they were talking about Necronomicon, and I searched Necronomicon. I was like I think the Necronomicon 2 or first is the Geiger's art book,
Right.
and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, oh my god! I was like, I was searching and being like obsessed with Geiger and all the things he did.
You're talking about this one here, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what I had, but like let me just bring it up. So here we go. If I can get the right little, yeah, that's it. So yeah, this one here or the other one. See, like even Clive Barker's right there in the introduction, right? So
Yeah,
my
I
two
think-
favorite, artists of all time when it comes to horror.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that one, yeah.
yeah. I remember learning all about, how he, as a child, he used to like put a blanket over his head and draw. So, the darkness, light kind of thing. It's really, amazing. What? Oh, okay. So, kind of a segue, and I was going to bring this up, right? I had on my list. So after this, we'll go on to talking about the tortoise. So yesterday, because of like Cry Little Sister, I was looking for the music video and I mean the song and stuff. It took me to this because the churches, I think it was. Let me find the clip that they blocked me from using, or the music that they blocked me from using. It was Notebooks, churches. Yeah, so this was the what usually when you look for something, you go down like the friggin' wizard, Alice in Wonderland hole, right?
And the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's the one, the rabbit hole. So I go looking for Cry Little Sister. This pops up first for the song, and right. Yeah. So not allowed to use that, but I'm allowed to use the original. So I'm so glad for that, right? Actually got to use the original, which then took me to going, well, hey, what the hell is Night Books, right?
Yeah.
So I went to watch it last night, but I was, I'd been up for about 24 hours. And so I ended up falling asleep. But I watched like maybe about 20 minutes of it. It's a pretty good movie. I kind of enjoyed it. So if you guys have never heard of this, because I only heard about it yesterday, but if you have Netflix or if you have ways of seeing Netflix or this movie, go check it out. I mean, it is a horror movie, right? It's not trying to be a kid's book. I mean, kids movie. It's kind of like it's kind of like a horror for kids, like the old days used to be. Like there was a writer who used to write horror books for kids.
Yeah, Goosebumps.
That's the one. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. So it's basically about Alex, a boy obsessed with scary stories, is imprisoned by an evil young witch in her contemporary New York apartment. So he arrives, and it's pretty like the thing about this kid, and why I'm mentioning this is he writes horror stories, right? And as a young kid, and one thing that really annoyed me about a couple of years back, my nephew loved drawing zombies because he was playing I think it was like Minecraft and zombies or Plants vs. Zombies. And his teacher, because he's is at a religious school, said, "Oh, you shouldn't be drawing dead people, dead things all the time and all that," and put him off it. And so you know what happened? My nephew stopped doing art altogether, and it really pissed me off because but now he's learning electric guitar and guitar, so I'm okay with it. He's still sticking with art, right? But he was really good. His storytelling was amazing, dude. At like 7-8 years old, he was brilliant. He was doing trilogies, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and drawing his own little mini comic books and stuff. So that, and I was like, this is the dude I'm going to give over the company to when he's, the studio and everything when I'm done. And I told him that, but there's someone like coming in with a negative like that and not actually coming in and going, hey, that looks pretty cool. How about trying this as well? Rather than saying, don't do that,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this little kid, Alex, he does, at the start of it, you see him throwing away his stories because he thinks that his parents are going, you shouldn't be doing that. Why is he always doing horror stories and stuff? And so he ends up running away, and not running away, but going away to burn his stories, and gets captured by the room. And I've only seen 20 minutes, but I really liked it. So I'm glad I didn't I'm glad I found it by the rabbit hole. So if you guys want to check it out, do check it out. It's worth checking out just for, somebody to watch with it, if you've got kids. But I think it's a good little, it's almost 2 hours long, but it is for me, I thought it was pretty cool, especially with horror. And we got two horror comics. We got a monster comic coming out and a horror comic coming out at the same time. With the Tortoise and with Howler. So let's talk about the Tortoise and working on that, and you coming up, with kind of like I guess in a sense, designing character design and work, and and looking at because like. Anybody can do anything, right? Anybody can draw stuff. But when you do comic books or manga, there's a bit more to it than just, drawing another face or drawing another character, because it's going to make that character be three-dimensional. So you got to look at Amber here, a little girl, right? Now you're looking at her sideways. Now you're looking at her front way. Now you're looking at the other way. Dressed up. So let's talk about, like, I know with this one we had somebody else do it before, but like when you came to it to create all these characters, I mean the look and everything all new. What was it like? Kind of taking on the role of recreating these characters the way you see them.
Well, I think it was like really nervous because I was like, okay, I had to reach some specific standard, and also I wanted to be loyal to the first to Levi, the first artist who made I think the volume 1 and half of the volume 2. I think was the.
I think it was just like bits of first issue, like the first issue, and then like bit of couple pages from the issue 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to draw something that people can like enjoy, just to attract people to read it, and also not losing myself on drawing. Like, oh, I have to draw like this artist, or I have to draw like this, because
Right.
sometimes I say, this doesn't look so manga, so I have to change this.
Yeah.
And in the search of things, I was like, maybe it's not about it's not only the style, but also the way you tell the story that makes it manga. Because you can make, for example, a manga like One Piece, and you can make a manga like Vinland Saga, and
Right.
yeah, really different styles.
So I'm looking at, we've got this, little babies and little kids, and little kids, I should say, tribal kids, and then you got the elderly, and then you got teenagers designing all these. Because, I guess in issue 2 we see a lot more of them than we do in issue 1, because in issue 1 we just got them like doing their thing, going on their OE trip and working and then traveling. But just we've had some ideas for what these characters would look like, but what was it like drawing them, and the way that you draw them, like, because I know everybody has their own style and has a tendency to describe things through their own eye. And I think that's what I love about working with so many different artists, is because I get to see your style come to life with the stories that I write, without saying, oh, it has to be match this thing, and I want it to look like this, it doesn't look like this, but I mean, you really bring something real, really interesting to it, because it's kind of like a cross between manga and animation sometimes, so it's just
but like sorry, continue.
I know, I was just saying, it just looked like the line work is what always grabs me about artists, just like how thick and soft lines you put in, because that's what lifts up the artwork. So carry on.
Yeah, well, that art is that kind of art is really old for me. I was like, oh my god, this design, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. But yeah, I was maybe like trying to find. I came from a, like, how you call it, from a type of work, because I was trying to, quote unquote, find my style, but I ended up finding like a way of work, because I have this idea that, I have to draw hyper realistic things, like really, really, really photorealistic things.
Yeah.
I could do it, not so good as other people, maybe like Luis or Joaquin, but it took me a lot of time. It drained me a lot of energy, and I find out that this kind of style, I say, hey, I can draw like this. I can carry on for a long, long time. I don't burn out. Also, I enjoy it. So I try to start from there and say, okay, I can fix a little more the anatomy. I can stylize the heads and stuff. And I think, this kind of thing that I made, it works to tell a story.
Yeah, I think that's what I love about these things, right? I don't want anybody to do something like somebody else, because that takes away from the strength and the joy that as an artist you feel, because if you have to like kick at stones, it's going to be difficult for you, but also stressful. It's like me trying to write something that I'm not good at. Like I can't do comedy. I will never be able to do comedy because it's just not in me to do that. But I can do horror because I love horror, and I can do like slice of life stuff because I like dialogue. But this is something that that Shane tells me. One of my good friends, who basically when he was at art school way back in 1990s, same time I was there. He was just a year ahead of me. He said his teacher, who's like this very famous architecture designer, basically said, well, why do you want to make your art look like photorealism? Because it's not, what you're doing isn't supposed to be photoreal. You're cartooning, right? And if you're going to make it photoreal, well, then you might as well do some sketching, right? Like do life drawing. And so now Shane, able, because he chose to do his own style, he's able to do everything faster and stress-free, right?
Yeah.
And this is what you found, right? Because you're like, oh, why do I have to compete with these guys doing their style? And the thing is that I realize that people who go to other people and say, oh, I want you to do it in this style, is that they don't appreciate you anyway, right?
Yeah.
I don't want you to draw me Todd McFarlane Spider-Man if I'm coming to Jim Lee, right? I'm going to take Jim Lee, do Spider-Man your way, right? I'm not going to say, well, do it the way Todd McFarlane did it. It's like, well, I'll just go to Todd McFarlane for that.
Yeah, exactly. And also it's like when you try to, it's like you try to compete with them in their game. Like you're not going to be better than Jim Lee trying to be Jim Lee.
Yeah.
So he's the best Jim Lee because he's him. So
yeah.
The thing is, sorry, wait.
No. Oh, you mean the cars noise?
Yeah, the car.
Right.
The best way to win if we are competing or something, because there's no competition at all at the time, is being you. Like draw the things and do the things that you like, and also that this is like maybe contradictory. It's like sometimes that's what I found. The things you love are not the things you like to do. For example, I like to read crime novels, like pulp crime novels.
Yeah.
The hard boiled things, noir and everything. But I don't find myself drawing noir comics. I was like,
right.
And that's a really good point to take out, because maybe, for example, you enjoy fantasy, but you like to work sci-fi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they say, right? Having different things and being interested in different things helps you enjoy life more and enjoy what you do yourself more. And, it's been, that's why, like I said, I love working with different artists, because because I don't want my art, the comics we do look exactly the same as the other comic we do, right? And I think that sort of actually helps, bring different readers to the, to what we're putting out. But also, not everybody's going to enjoy everything else. This is why I always interview other creators, right? And because not everybody, like having owned a shop, right? If I only sell apples in my shop or comics in my shop, then the people who read manga aren't going to come to my shop, right? Or if I only sell manga, people who read comics aren't going to come to my shop. So I'm going to lose that, other people reading my comic. So I think a lot of people who like to stick to that one thing always cut themselves off. It's like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's a sad way to look at things. Like, I mean, you look at this one here, right? So this is a different artist, right? This is one of the promotions book, which is going to be in full color, but here we got in black and white, because, when you're putting out a black and white comic interiors, if you put a color page in there, it's going to cost just as much as putting out a color comic book. So here you've got, one of our main variant cover artists, James Hill, right? James D. Hill. He's working on a different comic altogether. And that one's more kind of like, it's fantasy as natural as well as real people. right? So this has got to look like the, horror and stuff. So it's kind of having so different style is actually going to, bring a different reader base. Same with this one, right? So you've got this one here, we're going to be putting out later with the comic book called Valley of the Kings, who is basically the artist for this one here, right? He's an Italian artist. Yeah, I think Francisco Conti is an Italian artist. And we've also got the cover. This is from the black and white, but the cover artist, the colorist on this is Artex, right? So this is his art style, right? So because he loves doing sci-fi, and it's, like dude's like in there, like doing wires and everything. So that's his strength, and I think this is a joy of working with different artists, man. I just can't emphasize that enough, that, having so many different talent around the world, right? I mean, you're from Argentina. I've got, the other book we're putting out is Howler. Louise is from Brazil, right? And as just I mentioned, with this one here, we've got Robot Nation with, and also Valley of the Kings, which Steve wrote, his book, his series, Valley of the King. And I got Francisco to work on that because it's a sci-fi horror book that we've got coming out later on in the year. And so he's from Italy, right? And then you've got James, who's from America. And we've got another book that's coming out, from artists from America. One of the cool things about this is, for me, was learning about, this was just a 12-page story, right? It was just supposed to be this mini story. But one of the great things was that, like, it actually, when I started thinking about it, because it started with a dream, and I talk about it in here, that I learned a lot about turtles, man, like the actual life cycle of turtles, which I never had thought about until I started working on this. So these are the early drawings that Levi did early on, but like turtles are endangered species, and this is when I started writing. This wasn't about 2018. And, the Pacific Islands, around the world, people these things live for 100 years, around 100 years, right? Some can live even longer. So they have life cycle as a human being. And it's just, it's crazy how, people would eat them, right? Yeah. Just to make soup out of them, rather than letting them just live their life, It's like endangered species, man. Like, why would you want to go hunt down endangered species? So there is that sort of element to this. But the story itself, right? Of course, it's a manga story. And Tomas did this little image that I used to actually, get people as a promotion piece to how you read manga. And so this, even though the story is going to be come out from, front to back, right? So you don't have to go to the back and read to the front, just to make it easy on comic book readers. We still have, the manga concept where you read from the left, from the right to the left, which is where we show you here how to do that over here. So you get back to this one. So you get an idea of how we're going to go around when you go to read this. So in the webtoons, I don't actually include this page from, it's from issue 2 in the webtoon, but like when we go into issue 2 for webtoon uploads, we'll put this in here. So as you can see, you start off from here and then you cross back over here and you go that way. And it's going to be, some people might find it a bit tough, reading if they're not used to reading manga. But once you start reading it, a couple pages, it just becomes natural, right? That's one thing that I noticed with manga was when I started reading, it just became natural. So rather than flipping it over, right way around, I wanted to actually honor the fact that we are, we are doing it like a manga, and and try to, and it's not for. I mean, Tomas could have easily basically done it the normal comic way, right? Just with the same artwork, or I could have arranged it the same way. But I wanted to honor the art style by actually having it manga from the start, the way we reading wise and stuff. So yeah, so one thing we did have with this, and this is something I want you to talk about, Tomas, is actually bringing it to life. Let me just find the actual village photos and stuff I've sent across for you as research material, because for me, I like research is huge in me, for me, right? It's one of the most important things I can think about is when you're actually creating a book, even though if it's fantasy, you still got to have it some sort of grounding so people can sort of feel a sense of reference. So let me remove this, and so let me go to the island. So this is Indonesia. So in the Plunge universe, we call it Indonesia, right? So you get rid of that NE, so it becomes Indonesia. But the island, let me find the right place. I think, if I remember, is over here somewhere. Let me just grab it. I always forget which one freaking it is because, wait, aren't you gonna? Why isn't it opening up the other ones? Hold up, give me one sec. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it wouldn't let me open up the other one. Not sure why. Here we go. Now it wants to go do the thing that I wanted it to do. Yeah, it's doing the thing I wanted it to do, right? Not the way I wanted to set up. So here's the actual island. And yesterday we were talking about like how we're gonna build the different places, right? Because we got to have like a village here. We got to have the plateau there, which is going to be like at least 2 issues will be set up there, and then 1 issue will be set up in the the islands. Sorry, the village, and so on. So it's kind of like so yesterday I was searching around in a different, that's what it's called, Wawomi Island, right? So I call it Wabo, and this is in Indonesia. So I was trying to find, and I couldn't find anything that was like without all these texts on it, where you could say like, well, here's where we're going to set the village. Here on the mountain we'll have the the plateau where we're going to have the rituals happen, which is like takes, I think it covers 2 issues, and actually 1.5 issues, because the rituals are really massive.
Yeah.
Because this is a horror supernatural story, right? So yeah, it's got some, it starts off with very slow, but then it becomes very, very vicious very fast. Like, this is what I was looking at. I was like, wow, how do we work it around so that we could actually make a 3-dimensional map that works with this place for us? So this is what it looks like side view, right? So up here, even now I'm thinking like, well, maybe, how you're seeing it here, this is the mountain, but when you go to the other picture, it doesn't show you that's the mountain, right? So it says the mountains are up here somewhere, like with the rocks and the high. So yeah, so I think I want to show some photos from issue 1 where we had that you were working from to do like the villages and stuff like that.
Yeah, the reference pictures.
Yeah. So, and then we can talk about the story itself. Where is new original? That one. There's so many files. So apologies for that, guys. Just, I always like to have lots of reference images and stuff when I'm working, because it just means that we can, there's a lot of things we can fall back to if we get stuck, especially like in character design work as well. Let me see. Oh, here we go. So let me just put this up while I'm looking for what I need to look at. So I'll get you to talk about designing characters, with I mean, even though we had, you were working on other ones, but like, I just, here we go. See, have a look at that one, and
Oh
I'll
yeah,
try to find the other stuff.
yeah. I think that was the party dress. Yeah, I think so.
So it's
Maybe.
difference. It's like, because like when you're doing different characters, you're not going to be like that character appears in the same thing over and over again, and so you're looking at how that character is going to look in different situations at different places and so on.
Yeah.
Where is this? Hold on. All files. That's what we're looking at. All files. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on.
Yeah, I forgot to put some grayscales on that one. I was like,
Here we go. So, photo references for photo covers, for character art. Where are we? References. So when you approach character design, right? How do you start? I mean, for somebody who's new, coming new to a character and stuff, because I know sometimes people have their own ideas, and writers and so on. But how do you approach it?
yeah. Normally, I want to know, for example, what kind of things you want. For example, you give me, for example, the chief, the shaman. He's really, you describe him. He's really big. He's bald. He has this kind of tattoos, and I try to pick all the things that you want me to show, and then giving that sense of the things you describe. Also, I maybe work with well, the basic shapes and the silhouette. So, for example, for me, Christian is more tall than Amber, so um, I want to make them from different sizes. So maybe if we have like a top view scene, or maybe a scene from far away, you can recognize them from each other because of the size. And let me think what else. Yeah. Also, I'm trying to take in mind that they all belong to the same world. So, and I'm trying to get out from maybe maybe I want to make this person more realistic. No, keep with this thing, because maybe, for example, if I make a detail really important, I think that character is gonna lose like it's gonna be different from the rest of the other characters in the same world. For example,
Right.
if I draw uh, Anio, if I draw out Anio more realistic, she's gonna belong to that kind of work, and the feeling is gonna get lost. Like, if some people gonna say it's like she was being picked up from another comic and pasted over there, and it's like you're reading and like, what is this? Like,
All right. So I finally found it.
okay,
So it's like seriously, there's like, because of every time I do a project, I have like tons and tons of reference images and like files and folders and stuff. So here's one, looking at designing turtles and all the different images and just the movement, body movement and stuff. Because like I said, I've never thought about turtles before. 3 years ago, when I started, thinking about writing the story and really delving into a comic book. I mean, look at how beautiful these creatures look.
yeah, also so like it's so elegant and gracious. Like,
Sorry, these are like look a bit more pixelated. It's just like they're really tiny pictures. Look at that.
They also look like really grumpy. Like,
Yeah, constantly angry and upset.
yeah, judging
Just
people.
do it. Yeah.
And they're supposed to be really, really big.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh, I found recently there was a giant one that turned up in New Zealand, and
Oh,
somebody thought it was just a rock and went and realized it was just like an actual huge friggin' like almost a meter in size, because yeah, it was on the news, like in the newspaper here.
whoa.
And I think I had it somewhere. I'll look it up soon. Uh, Save for, yeah, to talk about, because it was all black. This whole area was all black on it.
Oh,
So this is just learning. I mean, we don't show too much of the character, for this early on. But I mean, with Marlowe, he does play a lot later on and stuff. But I mean, come into play a lot later on. So one of the other things was like learning about friggin', Indonesian deities and stuff. Let me bring this up, and what sort of things they worship and stuff. So we later on, like as we go across, this is what I was talking about yesterday to you about, like different supernatural creatures that they have there, and what got to figure out what's going to work for our story. So they have this thing with the deer and like the designs, man,
oh. That's really
crazy.
scary.
Yeah. So this is where I went in with trying to create the shamans, what the shaman would wear, right? So let me pop out of there.
Imagine in the middle of the night, you're crossing the street and you see someone with that mask, like dancing like this. Yeah, go away.
Well, that's kind of like what we're looking at. We took the page that they got rid of on. Actually, let me bring that page up, because that's the page they got rid of on Webtoons, and it is like I think it was the second to last. Oh no, it was like page 29.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's a 40 page comic book with about 28 pages or something, like, or 30 pages of art. So this is it here. Let me just get rid of a little text so we can see it. But this is part of the ritual, like the start of the ritual, not part of the ritual, where we see, when we first. This is what I was talking about, like I was showing you the design of the masks there and stuff, and trying to go into that, how they would go into the ritual and stuff. But I try to downplay it a bit, like not try to be as as too realistic to do with Indonesian culture, because I don't want to kind of come across knowing anything, and knowing everything and not knowing anything at all, and then sort of like doing injustice to their to their culture. But so we designed this huge turtles. I mocked up this huge turtle thing, and I had Tomas draw it. But I was like thinking, man, this is like a peacock feather, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
this is gonna be hard, because you got to draw so many freaking round bits and pieces on this. And how do I make it simple so it doesn't because look, comic books are supposed to be simple art, right? It's not supposed to be complicated and making you do, full on, spend hours and hours on one little detail. So I was like, oh man, I got to make this simple and just let you do your thing with it. Here's the mock-up. And
Oh, yeah. When you sent me the picture, like, yeah, do this. I was, oof. Like, okay.
yeah, I was like, what?
But it was really interesting to doing that.
Yeah, I edited this page early on, because I wanted to show people that, like, hey, this is actually a horror story, because up till then all we were seeing was this young couple basically just doing an OE, going on their little holiday, enjoying themselves, their life and stuff. But then I thought, well, if I don't drop this in here early, people just get bored and think, oh, it's just about people, these two girls just making out, traveling, buying stuff for each other, and but it does, but it is, so I always want to make everybody aware it is a kind of like a slice of life supernatural horror comic book, right? And also hopefully you'll learn something about turtles from it.
Yeah. Also, it's like a spiral. It's go like really, like it takes its time, but once it crashed. So I think for me that putting the page, the ritual page in the middle of the, they're partying everything, and suddenly how we how is that happen that we came from a party and now there's a sacrifice, like
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, so here they're at the nightclub enjoying themselves and making out, and the dude's making out with this one of the workers from earlier, right? From here. And next thing you know, they're over here, being tied to a stone table or rock table, whatever, and in the mountains. So I thought, yeah, it's good to have that, but
it's like what the hell happened? Like they got drugged.
I really like from like watching you develop these characters, man, has been really cool. Because how was it like? I mean, like when you start out by seeing somebody else's artwork and then having to do your own thing to it. How did you get yourself into the head of these characters? Because I know for me, it's like it still takes me time to figure out what these characters should be like and how they behave. Because like right now, I'm doing the friggin' information on the card back, right?
Yeah.
On the cards that we're putting out, which we haven't talked about for Kickstarter. So we've got this is Amber's card information. Then you got she's Agent Devi. How does she fit into the Plunge universe and stuff? But how was it for you to like figure out these characters to be able to work on them?
Well, how to figure it out? I was like maybe, how you say it? Like I was figuring out what I was working. Like okay, maybe even doing the poses. Maybe like Amber is gonna behave like this. Christian is gonna behave like that. So like how they can behave like a real couple in real life, because I didn't want to make them like cliches, cliches, yeah. And in the go, it was like, okay, she even, for example, she can make this kind of expression in her face. Yes, no, maybe the way she sits, the way she, for example, how they can hold hands, how she picks up the coffee machine and everything, the way she stretches. And it was like maybe doing some small experiments, like maybe, oh yes, this can be also taking care of if the way they behave work on the story. Because maybe okay, this pose is amazing, but in the story, in the things story doesn't work. So I was like taking notes and doing some things, and on the go I was trying to, okay, I'm gonna keep this up, I'm gonna take this out, and carrying on with that.
Oops. I was just sorry, I was muted myself. So I was just saying, like, this page sticks out for me because out of I felt like it just needed a calming spot, just somewhere, because a lot of things, like I think a lot of people when it comes to relationships, especially because our characters are lesbians, right? And I never go out and say, well, these are lesbian characters, and that's I just call them their fiancés, and I treat them like real human beings, not stereotype characters, because I have friends who are lesbians and or gay, and so they are real human beings who behave like real human beings, like normal people, right? They're not going to be like some stereotypical friggin' thing you see on TV, right?
Exactly.
And so I wanted to be like a real natural event, and so this is them getting having a cup of tea together or coffee in this case, and just chilling out, listening to music. And it's not and then later on, we do have them making out, but this is early on in the relationship, and I think that I just love the movement, between the different. And here's the thing about like gestures and stuff, right? A lot of people don't even really consider like showing hands and stuff and movements and placements when it comes to characters, and I think a lot of times that sort of like takes away from the story because we're so used, especially if you're a comic book reader who reads a lot of American comics, you basically expect it to be action, 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 right?
Yeah.
Or drama all the time. And this is why I love manga in the sense that there is moments of just quietness and and just little moments where you just don't have to have action all the time, and which is why a lot of people read manga and watch anime, is because it's a breather moment, right? You can breathe, and you got to develop the story. Whereas like in comic books, we only have 6 issues, let's just like put everything into the 6 issues or 4 issues and move on. Whereas in manga, you have like 12 volumes, or maybe freaking like One Piece, 1,000 volumes, right? Or 500 volumes, whatever it is. And so you just ride the story and take it where it goes and let the story drive it. And I felt in this situation was like these, I need the readers to, get in, I know, have their moment with these characters without them just jumping into each other's arms and jumping into bed, because I know what I'm going to do in issue 3 and 2, and I need them to like walk with me rather than run head first and do all that, because it's otherwise nobody will care about those characters, what happens to them later,
Yeah, also because when you said before, like drawing maybe action, drawing fight scenes, it's like I don't want to say easy, but I think you can use more your imagination because it's like a fantasy setting. You can make, like, for example, Luffy doing an attack and breaking a wall, and there's a big explosion. You don't see that in real life, so you can play with that the way you want to do it. You can exaggerate some things, reduce some things, but when you do normal interaction, it's more difficult, maybe more challenging, because it's like, okay, if I maybe exaggerate this, it's gonna look really non-natural. So I was like, oh, it was really really fun, because it was like, how it's possible that I can draw a guy throwing a punch like this in foreshortening, but I can draw someone grabbing a cup of coffee. Like,
yeah. I mean, like, you're right, because there's so many things, like there's so many examples of just punches, right? Like you're limited by how many times you can draw punches, but there's so many different actions like you can do with someone just like hanging out, because you got to change so many things. Because I mean, I've read so many superhero comics over the years. You can recognize the same positions or movements over and over again in every single freaking comic. Sometimes, I mean, not every single, but every other comic, right? So when you have something like little gestures that make things work, and clothing and stuff and setup, it's I think I kind of like enjoy that side of things. It's like as well as the fast-paced action things that we have in other comic books. But I think sometimes it allows, I think, telling different stories and having different artists work on them, it allows different readers to see, to get something different out of it. I mean, next time we're going to be talking to, to Luis, who's working on Howler, right? And so he's actually, he's working on issue 2, and you're working on issue 2 as well. So, our pacing would, release schedule will be pretty cool coming out the door. But one thing I want to bring up is some of the covers that we're putting out. We've been talking about, the art and stuff and some of the cards, but we're going to be releasing 6 cards with this. And one of the cards is going to be a risque nude card or topless card, because it's, uh, with it being the tribals, the tribes. They're like native tribes. They don't care about nobody, right? This is the thing. When I was researching tribes and stuff, like the primitive tribes, it was like the women always go topless, right? And so for us was like, how do we make it so that doesn't look like we're being exploitative in that? Because that's one thing that I really didn't want was for our work to be, seen as, it's, they're just like us trying to make as much sexual thing and, content in this, but for me, it was like, okay, how do we like not dumb down the story, but try not to, seem like we're exploiting for the sexual sake of selling a comic because it's got sexual content in it. And this is a cover. I did the whatchamacallit. You did the artwork on this.
Yeah.
I did the color flats, but you finished it. So it looks really cool, man. So this is cover A, guys, that we're going to be releasing. And this is, of course, this is Amber, the main one, and then there's Kirsten, her fiance, and then Tarman, who is at the back here, who is their interpreter and freight driver. Boat driver. Yeah.
Boat driver, the tour guide, the translator, multitasking.
Yeah, he's the guy that's going to like be there, everything in this friggin' village where you got someone who's, who looks like this. Anya, who's the chief's daughter. Oh, the other thing I figured out, like I was doing a research about this, Indonesians don't have surnames. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so some of the native people, they don't have surnames. So I'm like, so I only have one name to use for them. It's like, because I'm trying to be as realistic with with the research as possible. But all these tribes, this tribe Wabo is is a mix of all the other tribes from around the world. So from South Africa, from the Pacific Islands, from South America, right? Yeah. All these different, and so I try to create my own ethnic indigenous tribe from all that background, and throw these two into it. Throw these two friggin' Westerners into it. Amber and West Coast here.
Another bowl.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, the whole idea of this fish out of water, right? Two Western girls going, with their own ideas, going into a country, into an indigenous place where you've got women that are dressed like this.
Yeah.
And what I love is your design work, man. I love your design work on these characters. We didn't show a lot of the issue 2 with the kids and stuff, but did a really good job on them with the tribe. That's one of the things I really enjoyed about this was seeing your artwork with the tribe. So this is cover B, I think. Once it pops up, this is cover B.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the finished one. You did a finished one with
I shaded with the
So this is the cover B, them on the way to the islands. And just like kind of like you got Tarman having taken their kind of like their photo, right? So this dude here taking their photo for them. And so that sort of gives you an idea of where it's at. This is by James Hill. Like I said, he's one of our he's my go-to guy for variant covers. You see his covers, his artwork on a lot of our covers because I like his kind of like semi-cartoon style realism, right? It's just kind of So I just kind of always go, hey, do you want to do do you want to do a cover for us here and try that? And then if I want something else, I'll ask for something else, some other style. I mean, not some other style, but some other comic cover. So we did do I'll just do a black and white one up. There is a record, right? Yeah. He's got a more of a traditional look. So this is the risque, bedroom scene with a voyeur, which we have in full color, but this is the pencil one, pencil sketch of it. And when did he do them? Let me just go over here. So look at that. We started this in 2000, like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
So, I asked him to do the covers 3 years ago of that, of the two, and so with the design and stuff. So, and he, at the same time, I asked him to do this, do him on the boat, and the other thing was that because they travel by boat all the time, so you'll see a lot of boat, right, in issue 1 and so on, and so having, where'd I go off to? Let me get out of there so I can get back to my page. It's that one. So, we end up like doing a lot of artwork that has to do with them. I mean, not a lot, but some pages where they're actually on the boat and stuff. And we're going to have that again. And the people carrier, basically, we call,
Yeah,
one of the other things we do, because we have a religion in the Plunge universe, which is called the Temple of the Polyhedron. All right, so they have this unique. Well, myself and I working with Rising Sun at the time CEO Hawk Sanders on creating a religion and naming about that ties all the different Plunge universe titles together, because we've got about 6 so far, and there's going to be like at least another 7 or 8 after that. But this is the religion, and this is one of them. When we're doing this, I said to I think to Tomas, I said, this is going to be the oldest temple that's ever going to be around, so we got to make it look like old and stuff. And so he did a really awesome job here on that.
Thank you. Yeah, but that temple was like, what? Okay, let's do this. It was really fun to do that. Yeah.
Because I did mock-ups of it, but this looks way better. It was like really cool.
But the mock-up was like, wow, how he do that? Like, well, like how you came with that idea? Like, it was like amazed. Like, wow, how the hell he makes this? Like,
I was trying to like, I mean, as always, research, like how do we make things more realistic and stuff.
Yeah, but I think I made the how you came with that the idea, the main idea that pop in your head, like the spark that says that I have to do this. How you come with that? Like,
I think for artists and writers, we have some sort of similar brain cells. Like our creativity only gets more creative by what we see around us, and what we look into. Like you, right? When you get an idea, you go and find out different positions and stuff, what the character design is, right? And so I think it's the same in my case, where like, okay, if I go, I need a religion, well, now I got to figure out what the religion does, right? What's involved in it and stuff. Let me put up a white page here so we can see the background. This is one of the cover. This is the cover for issue 2. I didn't want to put an issue release as part of issue 1. Because I think it would, it'd be better as a wraparound cover for issue 2, because it means that's where they've arrived now. So wait,
when the trouble starts.
Actually, I realized I just did black on there rather than white.
Like Darth Vader. No.
Yeah, I just blacked it all out.
Yeah, it's
there we go. Wheel of Death.
Like, if you guys really love movies like Green Inferno, you're gonna love the Tortoise.
Yeah, that was my whole thinking behind this, is like that whole idea of like, because I mean I'm a migrant, right? And I wanted to play on the whole culture, like with you going over to France, working a whole year in France and stuff, just that experience of culture shock and having your own ideas of what, how you have lived your life, and now you go, fish out of water, and how that's going to look when you, go to somewhere else. So I did the color flats on this here, but to do the skin tones and stuff, and, differentiate between the characters. But at the moment, Tomas is actually finishing off the skin like the shades and stuff. So this will be in issue 2 with as a wraparound cover. So let me get out of there and think.
It's a really amazing cover. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like it was done 3 years ago, and here we are just finishing off, just starting issue number 2. I can see like how much work we've been doing and slowly trying to make sure that everything, is finished before we actually get out there. Because I mean, you're working full time, man, and I'm working on like 6-7 comics at the same time with lettering, coloring, editing, with all the promotions and stuff. So, I don't like. I know that issue 2 is going to be faster because because of things we did that kind of like slowed us down. But I think that happened. I should say, not we did. That happened that slowed us down. But I think, by the time we get this out, there won't. We've got like another 4. Is it 4?
3 issues.
Oh no, yeah, no, we've got another 6. 4 other comic Kickstarters coming out this year, which will keep everybody, tied up until we get this, number 2 of this out. But let me see what else we got here before we finish up here. I wanted to do my own like 2 towers type thing. Like the gateway. And so I went and early on, I mocked up these 2 towers, and like, so you got these, how I've got the, you see the Monkey King symbol up here on, on the screen, but this is those same monkeys. This is where the idea for the monkeys came from, for me to be the Monkey King, is like the Lemire monkeys. So so I had them like sitting on top of turtles, which you will see later on, and and so on rocks, whatever, and kind of like, guides to the tribe. And I'm hoping that like, not hoping, sorry, we got stuff coming up where we'll see, what's all that about. But yeah, there's a lot of little Easter eggs and hidden things that ties this book into all the other books. And one of the key things is that like, these people aren't just anybody, right? Amber and Kirsten aren't just a young couple going on a journey. On an adventure, right? They also go on a working holiday, which is why we have this double page here in the middle. But Amber is actually a special agent, right? And also Kirsten is a special agent as well, right? Who are part of our Plunge universe. And which is explained in the back of the card, that they work for a agency called the like in the future, right, in the alternative world of the Plunge world universe. America and certain other countries are part of this collective, right, and they're called the USIA, right, and it's a United States International Alliance, and these 2 work as in their bioscience, DNA manipulation, and humanoid sciences. And they research the superheroes that are part of this universe, which ties us into, let me open this one up.
Like, girls, what are you doing over there? Go to work.
Yeah. So they go on their little holiday, and we later on, their agency goes, well, what's going on? There's this whole idea behind that. But here's Enkertigil issue 2 coming out soon, which is how they tied into that area. So let me show you the cover of that. You've probably seen it. So this is one of the covers here, because at the same time we're releasing the Tortoise and Howler, we're also releasing Enkertigil 2 on Kickstarter, which is which is on a different site, because this is an all ages comic book, whereas our comic, Howler and Tortoise, is a mature readers comic book. So we're releasing it over here on this website, on this Kickstarter page, and This is the first issue we brought out. It's for kids, right? So
Yeah.
basically, where are we? Let me go. Wait, I'm on creator. Hold
Everybody
on.
to enjoy.
Yeah, so everybody, you can read to your kids and stuff, and everybody can, enjoy it rather than just,
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
way, you can, if you want, you can get 3 comics at the same time for us, but probably the one, like lower freight cost because you can include that one together with the other 2. So just let us know, and we'll make sure that we'll attach your comic book and send it out at the same time we send out Howler and Tortoise. So this is why it's taking us forever to like make sure everything's finished. So we got all the artwork for issue 2 of Incredible finished as well. I'm just working on like the cards, poster, and stuff now. And so yeah, so you've got that. We put this out 2 years ago now. Look at that. Everybody got theirs covered, and we took a long time to finish this because everything we had to, must be finished because I don't want to delay. I don't really want people to wait around after they paid, for too long after they paid for their comics. So we'll be offering issue number 1 as well. So, the regular cover will be offered again. And then, issue 2 will come out with 4 covers, I think it is. So, yeah. So this will be available again as part of issue 2.
Amazing art. Like,
yeah.
Was like really happy to read the first issue. Like, oh, wow. Like,
yeah, they did a good job on that. Kevin Zimmerman's the artist on this from America.
And also, I don't know if I can say that I saw some things in the upcoming story. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the other thing is that these two are actually part of another comic book because they're daughters of the other book. So in the Blood universe, which we'll talk about another time because that's like our adult horror book, which is kind of like R18 book. But yeah, this is the Templeton twins. So we kind of like foreshadow a lot of characters that work together in different things. So
they are related with the Templeton comic also, or is just
they're the daughters of Templeton, Christopher Templeton. And actually, maybe I'll let me pop up the cover to that one just since we're just talking about it. And here's the thing about that. We've almost finished issue 2 inks of Templeton.
Yeah.
So so by the time we release Templeton, issue 1 and 2 will come out together. And so we're working really hard around to making sure that we are finished before we go to Kickstarter. And all this work is going to be done prior to us, going to Kickstarter, because it means that, like I said, not that cheaper freight because they're sending together, and also we're not releasing one comic at a time, because it means that you got to pay every time we release a comic. It means you got to pay freight again. So I've been trying to really work hard to make sure. The artist and colorist. I'm sorry, the colorist name isn't here, so I was going to add that in. But this is like the cover to. I actually colored this myself.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
this was about 2 years ago. I hardly ever full color, and so it's not. I mean, it is what it is, and I'm not a colorist, so yeah. But I wanted to have a go at it just for the sake of it. But yeah, this is the R18 book, so that's why it's got this really warning here. But yeah, James, like I said, James color did this one, so he's the actual artist on that as well. So let me just finish up with showing you some art from there, because
It's like how they work. Like, I want to see how James, Joaquin, and Luis, how they work. Like,
yeah, it's a thing, right? Like watching different people work a different style, because that's a joy of like I said, working with different people. It's like, you just let them work to their strengths rather than trying to like pigeonhole them into this is how I like it done because that was done that way. It's like, no, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
because I think
So it's
a lot
like,
of people, you got to be able to enjoy what the sorry about no background there. Let me just put white on the back of that so you can see the art.
yeah, it's
There we go.
amazing.
Yeah, so this is Placenta, whose sidekick is Templeton, but Templeton's the main character. In this case, he's the boss and he's not. He's he's assistant. So this is this is one of the pages from that. I can't remember what page it is. Is it page 8? I'm not sure. But we have actually the entire first issue completed. We're almost finished with the issue 2. I think there's only about 3 pages left, and that was because I had James do some terrible drawings. Not terrible in the way of like they look terrible, but terrible in the way of horror. Like
Oh,
serious.
okay. Like
Yeah,
really, like frightening, like really.
no more emotional damage.
Oh, okay. Because it was like, why
Yeah,
he drew bad on purpose or something like that.
no, I it has to do with what the content of those pages,
Yeah.
and they're based on a real story.
Okay.
And so, because they're based on a real story, there's a lot of emotion that goes into it than just, you know. Let me. Here's a page of hell. While I go and look for the other one. So this is a loose sort of like because 2-page spread of hell. But there is other ones we've got that's a bit more things. So the creatures and stuff, right? But here's a page from issue 2, and I'll just give you a glimpse of.
He draws so well.
Yeah, that one's a bit more. This one's a bit more kind of loose, like not much happening in there, but this sort of stuff, right? So we got like why it's R18. That's why we put it on Plunge NZ Kickstarter, because it's not for all ages.
Hmm. Yeah, that's better because there's sometimes that happen that they release comics like, oh yeah, it's for everyone, and suddenly, I don't know,
Yeah.
you find a page when someone's life is cut off, and like, this is not for children. Like,
Yeah.
for example, I don't know, Wolverine stabbing someone in the face, like,
Yeah, stuff like this. This is why we call it R18 and put a warning on it. Right. So I actually gave I did a mock-up of this page because there was a certain look I wanted about it. But usually I just let James do whatever he sees the script saying. So yeah. It's like, man, look at the
details. Come on, like,
yeah, I'm just thinking like the darkness and stuff. Look at that.
you can see he takes the time to make every stroke, like every detail, the cross hatching, everything. Like, James.
It's like that's why I don't I try not to rush people with our work, because I know that that's the other thing about this is like I know some people are saying, well, it should be fast, but also comics, it depends on what you're trying to go for. Like, look at this. Look, there's that page, right? So you showed that one from like this one here earlier, where there's not much happening on it because there's a lot of text that needs to be on this page. Sorry, this double page. Is it that one? Yeah. So here there's a lot of story that needs to go on this narration and stuff. So that's why there isn't too much detail. But look,
Yeah.
So another page
and everything.
So this is going to be full color. So I've been doing the color flats in between the comics as we go into, between getting the other ones ready, and then this issue 2 where we. Oh yeah, here's me just having a mess around with issue 2, right? For color wise to see what I can do. So yeah. just the color flats.
That
So
clown
that's
is evil.
yeah, because there's a a birthday party. So
Don't
yeah,
trust the clown. Like, what am I doing?
yeah. But we'll just finish up here with issue 1, and then I just want to show some with the Templeton stuff, the color flats I've been working on there. Um, just give you an idea of, because I don't even remember how far I've gotten yet, because here we go. Let me get the. Have I already finished? I think I might have actually finished the entire.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to go back and have where is it? Oh, actually, hold on. I'm opening it the wrong way. I'll have to go back and count the pages, because I think I might have actually finished all the color flats in this thing.
Okay.
Which is a surprise to me, because I didn't think I had it finished. Where is it? Color flats.
Yeah, sometimes it's happened like, oh, I have to do this, like it's done. Like, and you have a blank space in your memory, like, did I do this? When?
Yeah, and my memory's the worst. Wait, why is that not showing up? Give me one sec. Oh, that's issue 2. No wonder it's not showing up, because I'm on freaking issue 2 and not 1. I was like, just there, man. What happened to it? Hold on. All. Here we go. Perfect. Now open up the. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I think. Oh, here's a 2-page spread. Page number 24 and 25.
Damn.
This is the color flat that I've done for it. The Sea of Blood.
Whoa.
And how, so I got to get the color tones done on this, and I mean the shading, sorry, color shadings done on this. Yeah. One thing I love about James on this is that I just said do whatever monsters and demons you can think of and just go for it. Like, I didn't say, oh, I want the monster to look like this or that. The only person, the only characters that we needed to look like, what they needed to look like, was the main trio, which is, where is it? Cover art.
And
These 3.
Oh, these
those those 3 are the only ones had to look a certain way. And also, I think there was like the devil. The devil had to look a certain way as well. That was it, because she changes around. There's about 3 different forms she has. So yeah, so you got Sangium, who's succubus, and then you've got the center, which he looks small here, but he's huge, as you can see, with the souls. But he's not that huge. He's just a bit taller, which is this one here. So he's not way tall, but yeah.
And
so yeah, carry on. Sorry.
How long does James takes to make a page, to make the full page with inks?
I'm not sure, because what he does is he doesn't actually do pencils now. He just goes straight to inks.
Really?
Yeah. So like at first I was like, oh, can you do pencils? And then I'll go, I'll have to find some inker. And then he said, well, it'll take me shorter time if I just go through to inks, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Because by the way, these are all pen and paper. They're not digital. So,
it's amazing.
they look like this because I had to go in, to clean it. Not clean up, like remove any dust and stuff from the pencil marks, so that I can, color it without actually showing that part. But let me see if I can get you early art.
It will be great to see a sketch or maybe a process by him, because it's like, is that those kinds of work that you say how you do it, like.
Here you go. Here's a page from issue 1.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So back alley. So yeah. So
All the
then, you know,
detail.
like I was saying, like how I clean it up, right? So for me to color it, I got to remove all the, I mean, binarization. Actually, while I was streaming, and I was coloring, one of the viewers, one of my you know, who used to like stream with me, co-host with me, Chris, he said, "Hey, you know, go in here and go binarization, and that'll be easier for you." And I was like, "Oh my goodness!" So that helped me remove all the dust and stuff, so it made it easier for me to, you know, get to this stage, right? And this one I haven't finished yet, but you can see like the pencil lines and the inks. So
Oh, yeah.
now he just does inks. So he doesn't, you know, he doesn't even do pencils. So you end up like very clean sort of images to work with. I was trying to come up like I had to research what clowns look like because there are so many friggin' different clown
Yeah,
design.
they are
You know,
menace.
yeah. And so he had done this design because I just said do a clown, right? And so he did it the way he wanted to. And then I went and like, oh, now I've got to like color them to work with this design. So yeah, I don't actually like clowns, man. I really don't. It's not my thing. I know some people are like afraid of them. I'm not, but I just don't
Yeah,
like them.
yeah, but I think it's like the pop culture, you know, Pennywise and
Mm,
How you call it, Artie the clown. Also, like it's the like this new wave of killing killer clowns that made the clowns look a bit more suspicious right now.
mm,
Because later in previous years, like going to a circus or watching a clown dance and everything was like, oh,
yeah.
okay, it's maybe old to see a clown dance and doing, you know, silly things for the show. But now it's like more, oh, a clown, yeah, must be a demon, a killer, whatever.
Oh, I just want to before I move on, sorry. I was going to show you show the viewers our chat.
Yeah,
Let me where are we? Can get out there as well.
yeah,
There is included in when we put this out later this year, like I think about October. We put out issue 1 and issue 2 of Templeton. Issue number 1 is coming out with extra 12 pages of story from when I originally wrote it. So where is it? I got to get the file that one reference 1 2 2 1. Let's yeah, it comes up. We're gonna bring it out with 12 pages that we got done. I got done like in 2010 because this is the old story that I, you know, that's when I started about 2010. So it's about
2000, a lot of
15 years
time.
ago. Yeah. Dang.
2010, 16 years ago.
Yeah, man. It's like time flies. So
Perseverance wins the race.
yeah. Oh, here we go. So this is actual the uncolored version, like like no flats or anything, color flats on this. This is it's a 44-page comic book. Will be issue 1, and I think it's 36 pages for issue 2, and both of them will be released at the same time on Kickstarter with variant covers and everything else. But so this is it without the color pages on it. I didn't realize it was 44 pages, but this is because it's got 12 extra pages in black and white. So you can see here. So I've colored all the other pages, but like, so it starts off. So yeah, that's right. So I have finished all the, yeah. So I was saying like before, I don't know if I'd finished all of them. So I finished all the 22 pages from issue 1 has been color flattered. So all that, but here is where issue like the 12 pages starts. So that's because it's original one, so I've left it in black and white. So check this out for Hell. Once it opens up.
Yeah, it's also like a lot of detail. Also the composition, like
Yeah, so this was done by a Filipino artist, if I remember right, called Armando de la Cruz. And I went through this like really bad period back in 2011, 10, and I've lost my email with context on this is all gone. So that's why we've got a different artist. But I paid for all this work way back then. But this is, let me get rid of the text. So this is the 12 pages, and the look of Howler is based around these early drawings for for the whole Templeton series. So you can see here, all the torture scenes and stuff, and the
Almost
designs of
like a Cannibal Corpse cover.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, heavy metal cover, right? Black
Yeah.
metal cover. Yeah. So so this is why I'm leaving this in black and white, because this is the original art, and this is how I left it. How it was. But as a reader, you get those for free, and I mean you get them for free because we're not only going to do it for the for the 22-page comic book price, because I think for us it's having that there is going to be pretty cool. So it's the first, and this is the Iwa Kim, my Swedish artist cover design for a demon. It's a variant cover, will be coming out. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it, and we've done all the covers for this at the moment. Just need to put all the different things in. So yeah, but yeah. All right, so I think that's us. I was trying to keep this down to 1 hour, but that didn't happen. But so now, before we finish, right? And now I'm finished with this stuff. Let's go to Japan. And you've got some photos for me for Japan with your last trip there.
Yeah, I sent some pictures from Japan. Yeah, no, not all the pictures, but the most important ones.
Right. So this is you going for your last, the trip. Sorry, I should say your trip before returning home, right?
Yeah. Just the final trip to close the the season, like the traveling arc. So
yeah, to end the journey, and Japan's the only place in the world I want to travel to be honest. It's
you're near, like you're
I know,
near.
but I'm like, maybe I think I'll do like an old man journey, the retirement journey when I'm 65. So I'm looking at about maybe 12 years from now, and where I'm just like, I'm just going to chill, not in a rush to do anything, just relax, So, and I have a love affair with Japan. We use references and characters, and I've been like a fan of Japanese culture, and especially movies, Shogun and samurai style movies and drama from Japanese culture. It's been I loved it for probably about 20 plus years now. So tell us about this.
That's Fushiminari in Kyoto. It's like it's where you see all the those orange gates in all the way up to the mountain. It's like you are like maybe half day over there walking, seeing everything. There's like small temples in the ways. Also, you have like cemeteries on the mountain. When families go to present their respects, they burn up. How you call it? Like they burn something that smells. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, incense.
Incense. Yeah, they burn that, and they do the clap, and they pray.
Yeah.
It's like also like a lot of silence over there. Like it's really, and also the thing is like you see a lot of spiders over there in Japan. Even
really,
yeah, you have these not really big spiders, but maybe the body of the spider is like this, and the legs are more.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's called the Jiraigumo, I think. No, Jorogumo spider is because it reminds like the yokai, the Jorogumo.
Right.
It's like a really bright and green spider, and it's like this in the middle of the web, and it's like that one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize I'd switched sides. I don't know how it went over to that. So this thing here. Oh, yeah, this is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's it has the same name as the yokai. And
wow.
They are not like really venomous. Like they are really, you can. I saw people like grabbing them like this, and you see the spider walking. Even they throw the web and they grab it from the web, and they have it like this dangling.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, some people say no, it's venomous, it's dangerous, like a bee or something like that. But no,
Yeah.
it's like, but it was like really, you walk maybe 2 steps and you see like 5 on the row. Like, oh, there's one there, one on the top, one over there. Like,
This is cool, man. Now it's given me opportunity to, in a future Howler book, to bring this character into it.
yeah,
Because
Yeah,
you know, with Howler, I look at different cultures' mythology and use them as monsters and as like specific characters in Howler series. So yeah, I'm definitely going to use this. This looks pretty cool.
yeah. You have the Yorogumo, the Jirai Gumo, that is like a more bigger spider.
Yeah.
And then you have, I don't remember the last one, that there is like because you have the lady spider, the
Yeah.
medium spider, like the ones in Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and then you have like the big giant spider that lives in caves and everything.
Yeah. This is cool, man. Yokai. Awesome. Yeah, because I was just talking to Louise the other day about like the different characters we're going to be putting in the future series issues. So yeah, I think we might. I definitely like the design of this because, and yeah, he's enjoying doing different mythological things. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So let me pop over here. So this is
That's
this the
Tokyo too.
palace?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
the
like
Tokyo palace?
yeah. Also near the no, it's that's the near the downtown in Kyoto.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really so. It's where you see when you search the typical photos from Kyoto, it's like that place over there.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, that's another temple outside of Kyoto. Also, like
Yeah.
it's like really beautiful because nobody was there, and was like,
Yeah, I was just hearing recently about the horrible influencer YouTubers going over there and like
Yeah.
jumping on the trees and stuff. That really pisses me off because, like, would you do that when you go to your neighbor's house? Like, jump all over their furniture and stuff.
yeah,
I just-
exactly.
Just found that rude behavior, man. Because you really want to enjoy, just being calm and enjoy. Because that's the one thing that like people don't understand about Japanese people. They're polite, they're calm, and they're quiet, right?
Yeah.
And then you have all these tourists from the other countries, and they're like loud, rambunctious, annoying. No wonder Japanese get annoyed with them, right?
Yeah, when you travel by bus, it's like,
Mm.
or in subway, it's like silence.
Yeah, because everybody's mindful of everybody else, and it's
Yeah.
just like then you get Westerners coming there and like they're loud dancing and everything on there. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah, I wanted to kick people.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, what it comes down to is like they say, like when I was young, we'd be told, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? Not how you do things, And so I think that's, if we bring that back in, it'll be amazing. Like everybody will have a good time everywhere else. Oh, what's this?
Yeah, that's I think they also in Fushiminari. It's like the fox deity.
All right, is it the 5-tail? Sorry, 9-tail.
No, it's Kyoto. Also Kyoto. I went to Kyoto.
Oh no,
also,
I mean like the fox god. Is it a 9-tail fox god or just a fox god?
It's the Inari god. It's like a
Hold on, let me see
Inari
if I can find
deity. Yeah.
it. Fox god. Let me find if I can find that. Fox god. Japan. That's
Yeah.
one. Yeah, no, Akami, because Kami is God, right? So
Yeah.
So Inari would be fox. Ah, right. So you can see it like that. Good. Because I was looking at the fox because we used a fox god in Howler, but I mean not fox god, but we used a 9-tail fox thing. So this is where you went, or is it a different place?
No, I think it's that place. Yeah.
Right. Oh man, how did I not know to zoom in like all this time, like looking at it like this? Because I was thinking like if I go over here, right, and like on the browser and zoom in, that'll work, and that didn't work. So that is cool, man. Like carving out a rock,
Yeah,
or is it concrete? Is it actually that's rock, isn't it? Concrete's underneath, but
it's
that's
rock. I think it's rock. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, here we go. So this is the view from
from the top. Yeah,
from that temple.
yeah.
Oh wow.
There's not a temple, but there's like a big like almost full of. It's not a graveyard, but there are a few tombs with the remains of
Right.
people, like a cemetery, but
Yeah.
not like the our kind of cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's,
that's the same. There's another statue of the Inari god.
is this different? That's the opposite side, right? Because the other one was on the other side.
Yeah,
Or, yeah.
there's like a lot of those statues on the way up.
Mm.
Because it's like when you go through those gates, it's like you're
Yeah.
going, you're passing through the world of the god. So it's like a really, it's like almost like a sanctuary.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to. Look, that's why I had that one in where are we? Let me just show the page that remove. Wait, from our is the one got removed? No, no. Was it this one? No, it was the one before that. 27, 27, 26. I think it was this one. Yeah, where we have the centuries, the monkeys that will open up. Here we go. So there's our gateway, right? So this is what I was saying, like wanting to be traditional as can be. So you got the two monkeys here with gateways to their, to the wild boar tribe and the tortoise, and then you've got, you got in Japan, you got the two foxes there on
Yeah.
each side, So you got one on one side and one on the other side. This is the thing, like I think it's like all these things, like even the gateway here, right? So because you can't see it properly there. Let me just grab a
The Torii
Japanese
gate.
Torii gate. Tori?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So with with us, with our book, that's our gate, basically, just making sure that, there's rocks, those stones standing there, where you have to walk through into the next thing. But yeah, I really love these traditional places because historic, not historic, but like these places, because it allows me to work with the, building our universes and characters and places and bringing that into it, right? You can't see a lot of it here because I had to cut it up for webtoons, but let me see if I can remove that and bring it into where I had it in issue. Yeah, the whole picture. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, those gates,
Right.
like with the monkeys and everything, like it
Yeah.
reminds me a little. I forgot the movie or the reference, but this thing of this is where.
Well, the two towers have
Example-
that as well, right? Like, you remember when, like in Lord of the Rings, where they have those two giant things on the way to elves, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Elven kingdom. Yeah. So there you go. So there's there's the two arches. You can see the whole picture
Yeah.
there, and then
But
you got
it's
the
like-
monkeys at the bottom.
Like it's like a sign from that it says from here, from these two pillars
Yeah.
on, there's another world. Like this is
Yeah.
the point of no return. If you cross this, you're gonna be
Yeah. Yeah, we have that in Templeton with the hell. Like, there's an image that I did up for it, and it's like, give up all hope who enter here, right? And so the gate to hell. So there is, talking of which, like just as another show to watch if people are interested. There is a Korean show called The Judge, and it's about a judge from hell.
The Judge. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a demon who is sent to. I think judge.
They're
who's
like
sent.
big guys, like big black guys who run and attack people. Like
No. This is a Korean drama.
Oh, a drama. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about the Drag Me, Hellbound.
Or-
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Hellbound's kind of similar as well, but this is I watched episode 1,
Okay.
and if you're into some, if you're into, drama, supernatural drama, this is kind of a pretty cool one to check out. And I'll play a trailer of it. I think it's only 30 seconds here. It says,
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Lasciate ogni speranza, poi che entrate.
나의 세계로 온 걸 환영해. 라이언 인페르노. 지옥으로.
so it's just started last year. So it's on Disney. If you have Disney, you can watch it. But I liked it because the reason I mentioned it because of the Gates of Hell, right? Let me see if there's another trailer that's better.
Yeah, I want to see
It is
that.
it's a Korean crime drama, but also fantasy and horror. So it's got a lot to do with courtrooms as well. So I'm trying to figure out if it's original work or if it's a web comic, because as you know, a lot of these Korean shows are actually based on web comics and stuff. But I think Chuso, I think he's just writer on this one. But there was another one as well. But let me find a better trailer for it, because there was a longer trailer. Here we go. TV shows.
But it's a TV show or a movie?
Yeah, no, it's a TV show. It's like
Okay.
about another. It's about 10 episodes. Wait, I'm on the
Okay.
ReZero. Hold on.
I'm gonna check it out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's on Disney. So anybody who's got Disney can watch it. It's about, where are we? Hour-long shows, 14 episodes so far.
Okay. It's
where's the trailer?
like an ongoing series, or
Yeah,
just
it's a longer trailer, and it's in English. Sorry?
It's an ongoing series, or it's just it finished the first season?
Yeah, I think it's let me go to that. I think the first season's finished, but
Okay.
it is an ongoing series from what they're saying here. Oh no, it's actually finished, right? So otherwise, usually they have an arrow or line saying, So yeah, this is a complete 14 episode show. Yeah, so there was nothing else from episode season 2.
Okay.
So yeah, 14
Cool.
episodes. Here's let me get out of that and go to the longer trailer.
Yeah, we want to see the trailer.
So yeah, so Templeton is basically a human in hell, right? Our comic book, Templeton is a human in hell. But this one's a judge on Earth, right? It's kind of like a switch. So she judges people and her whole aim is to get people to go to hell, right? And she's got a time limit set by the devil, like her superior, a demon, because she sent some person to hell that wasn't supposed to go to hell because she ignored, she was too busy or whatever, ignored it. So now she's sent to Earth to bring more people to hell. Otherwise, she'll die as a human being. Yeah. So, whereas in Templeton, my story from with just like 16 years ago, is where it's a human being sent to hell and has to collect souls. So yeah, it's kind of that's what I found interesting, right? Because it's like the opposite, kind of opposite. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
and not so opposite. Yeah. So this is it here. Sorry guys, it's got subtitles and not, and dubbed.
형사재판부 판사라는 직업을 좋아하는지 알아요? 나쁜 놈들을 아주 많이 만날 수 있거든요.
정의가 살아있다면 법이 절 지켜줄 거라 믿습니다.
정의는
최근 판사님께 피고인 신분으로 재판을 받은 뒤 살해당했어요.
나쁜 어른은 벌 받아야 돼.
멈춰! 움직이면 쏜다. 혹시 범죄와 관련된 일을 하고 있는 겁니까?
진실이 뭐가 중요해요? 나쁜 사람이 사라졌다는 게 중요하지. 그러지 말고 나한테만 솔직하게 말해봐요. 그래야 내가 올바른 판결을 내릴 수 있지 않겠어요?
법대로 한 게 그거예요. 그 법이라는 거 도대체 누굴 위한 법입니까? 판사님의 판결은 2차 가해입니다.
항소심 따위는 필요 없어. 내 재판은 언제나 정확하니까. 지금부터 진짜 재판을 시작할게. 9월 21일 토요일 밤 10시 1, 2화 연속 방송.
Yeah, I want to see that. It's like right now, doing a full marathon.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's kind of like, I mean, it is Korean drama, but it is done in a cool way. If you want something, the only problem I have it is it's not dubbed, which means I can't like what it's called. I can't watch it and work.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you have to pay attention.
So I got to read the friggin' look at the monitor, with the TV screen, whatever, and I can't work. Yeah, because I like to work while I'm. Yeah.
Like this.
So that's us for today. Do you have anything else to add, Tomas, before we finish up here?
Well, guys, like really go and check it out. Whatever you have seen here, like Howler, go back Howler the Tortoise, also Critical Number 2, and like be on the watch on the next things that Aru is gonna drop. So we will be really pleased that you will support our work, because we have worked really hard to bring you the best stories that we can tell, and share, subscribe, and if you know someone that really loves the work, like maybe my friend, my girlfriend, my dad, whoever gonna like this, so share with them all the information and the links that you can see. And thank you very much for being here with us, and nice week.
Yeah, so we'll catch you next time. I think it's in a couple of days. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you, Tomas, for taking your time out. I guess it's about 11 o'clock at night for you now?
Yeah.
And it's only about 3 o'clock here in New Zealand time. tomorrow for you, today for me.
Yeah.
So
you're in the future.
Yeah. So guys, please check out, help us get the word out about these two books. We're trying to put them out at the same time to save backers money on freight costs. Plus, there's going to be cards coming out. There'll be stickers coming out, and variant covers as well. So, kind of a package deal with two comics at the same time, both number ones. And this will be this is a shorter number of issues. This is a longer one, so we're looking at about 12 issues on this, 10 to 12 issues over the next while. Howler itself is a monster mythology series, horror series, about a mum and son on the run from a secret organization called the Conclave. And of course, with Tortoise, we've got Amber and Kirsten going on a working adventure to look for a mythical legend about tortoises in this tribe called the Wabo in Indonesia, which is like basically our version of Indonesia. So one comic, one manga, one hot campaign. So please spread the word out about our comic set on Kickstarter for crowdfunding. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I really appreciate you guys watching us. And hopefully, if you're catching this later on the rewatch, appreciate you so much. Thank you. And please like, subscribe, follow, as Tomas said. I always forget to say that because, it's not in our nature to promote ourselves in New Zealand. But thank you for, helping us out by viewing. And leave a comment, engage with us. If you got any questions, check it down in the comments, or in chat next time. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Ka kite ano. Thank you, Tomas. Have an awesome evening and week, dude. All right, guys. Catch you on the... Thank you so much, man. All right. Catch you guys on the flip side. Ka kite ano. All the best for your week. And may you have an awesome day, week, month, year. Bye for now.
Nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.